Good morning, Academy 55. It's Wednesday, the 4th of December. It's 5 to 8 in the morning. It's time to say hello. David Kahn here with the EUR USD on the 1 minute time frame. Looking at the Academy with the Academy 55 strategy and indicators. So what can we see today? Well, we are right in the middle of nowhere. If I could sing, there was a Motown hit called that. Anyway, let me explain. Going on the 5 minute time frame. As you can see, we have our confirmations that we need. Our zones are here. Sell zone. I'll mark that up. To mark that up, you go like that. A horizontal ray I like to use. Put it at the beginning of the zone. And I've got that one already marked up. And at the moment, as you can see, put it back on the 1 minute, and then the zones are marked up are clearer to see. In between, we have the support and resistance lines drawn up on the 4 hourly. We're right on the purple line where price likes to be. So there's no clues as to yet of which way we're going to be going. Going sideways. So we have to be led by other confirmations, waiting for price to go into these zones. Either the sell zone up there or the buy zone down there, go for a buy. All that good stuff. In the meantime, let's just play this. Okay, so here is how to use our indicators. First, we go to our MT4 or MT5. Make sure you've got the trade assistant running and you've got the risk to reward in purple. So you change it to purple, the lock calc in purple, and you've got that all important 1% risk there. Also, you've got your MT4 template, your Academy 55 template running in the background, and when you want to place a trade, you put it on lines, and then you can reverse it here, make sure all that good stuff works. And I like to keep 2 pips away before you enter the buy. So where it says SL21, this works, by the way, this works on EUR USD. On the US 100 it'll be slightly different, but we'll explain that as when we do go on for that sort of trade. But yeah, make sure you got your risk to reward in purple, your lock calc in purple. I like to have this button here in purple in case I need to close all trades. Next, I'm going to show you how you can use the Academy 55 indicators on TradingView. So here is a quick 2-minute video to explain how the sell and the buy Academy 55 indicator works. Here we can see a sell situation on the EUR USD on the 1 minute time frame. So what we do is we wait for the trend line to go red, the volume ribbon to go red, the wave to go red, and the parabolics are above price. Wait for all those 4 conditions. Then we get the short position tool and we put the stop loss would be there because that is the closest to the entry. Making sure you're a minimum of 2 pips away from your entry minimum. Could be a bit more than that. But the green wave turns to the red there, and that is closer to the entry. Then you go for your 2 to 1, and as you can see, that one was successful. And here we have the same situation, but for a buyer alert. So you get your buy alert. So you wait for the green trend line, the green volume ribbon, and the green wave. So all things are correct there. So you get your long position tool Your stop loss goes there because that is the closest point to the entry, making sure you are a minimum of 2 pips away, and your 2-to-1 is up there. So as you can see, we have a winner there. Set a sell by making sure you've got your red trend, your red volume ribbon, and your red wave, and Parabolic is above price. You get into the trade there, your 2-to-1, and then here is the buy version. So the Parabolic is below price. You've got your green trend line, your green volume ribbon, and your green wave, and you enter the trade there, and you get your 2-to-1. Okay, then, so thank you very much, Evil Twin. Right, there's something I wish to show you on the news this morning, and it's not very significant, this one. I don't think this will come to anything at 8:15 this morning, but there's been troubles over in France in the political posturing, and we got Italian and French news at 10 to 9 and quarter to 9 respectively, and also German news at 5 to 9. So that might be interesting to see. Might throw us a couple of pips either way if we were in a trade. So we will have to take that on board if anything does brew. But at the moment, we are acting off on the sell. The next alert we can take is a buy alert. Let's just see if this sell actually worked. So you'd be waiting. I can see it did. So you'd be waiting for the trend line to go red. Wave's already gone red, so you possibly getting down here, which would give you quite a big stop loss. 4.7. So actually hasn't worked yet. But your 2-to-1 would be down there. And actually, yeah, just about, yeah, just. So the sell there at it's 5 to 6 this morning. Let's see where we were on higher time frame. 5 to 6. Oh look. Well, 10 to 6, we were just getting in the sell zone. So another one for the zones there. They go really well. So yeah, so that would be been a quite decent trade to take. You would just got away with your 2%, I think. Anyway, take that off now. So again, we're waiting for price to get into these zones. Down here, we've got the big buy zone. But price is hovering around the purple line now, so we haven't got no bias one way or the other. Maybe the French, German, or Italian news that I pointed out at 8:45, or even the Spanish one might be a bit juicier than I thought they might be. So therefore, we're sticking in the middle until the investors want to invest, maybe. Down here is the that key zone again. Anyway, with 3 zeros at the end. Where investors love to take out trades, put in trades, whatnot. Can you trade or whatnot? I'll trade you 3 whatnots for an Udemy flip. Sorry. Right, so surprise, surprise. As always, we are waiting. So in the meantime, just wanted to show you this from last night on the 5-minute time frame. Price went, this is a 5 o'clock candle in the UK. Price sort of tapped into the zone just about and tapped into the zone up there. And this is the result. As you can see, that's the 5 o'clock. And we knew we was looking for the next buy. Shortly the next buy came along. Green, green, green. And then you knew that there was a sell zone up here. And red, red, red. That one's a lot smaller than that one because you could get in then. Whereas these there was a lot more volume in these candles, obviously. So there's a higher stop loss to entry ratio, so that pushed the take profit up. But as you can see, it all worked very, very well. Having a lot of good fun with the zones. So I just thought I'd show you that. Anyway, that was from last night. So here we are. And yeah, I think they're waiting for the news. In the meantime,
hi, this is Steve with a very short video to show you where to get the training for the indicators and tools we use inside Academy 55. So once you're logged into the members area, you'll see in the premium dashboard this section that's entitled Start Learning. And if you click here, that'll take you through to the learning library. Now, we'll say at this point, we highly recommend you watch each of these videos 2 or 3 times to get a full understanding of how everything works. Here you'll find tutorials on using the MT4 Trade Assistant and how to use the MT4 platform with the Trade Assistant. This is the longest video you'll find inside the platform. It's around 30 minutes long, well worth your time. Watch the video once, then maybe write a few questions down that you might have for yourself and watch the video for a second time, and things will really start to make sense. By the time you watch it 3 times, you'll fully understand how everything works. So that's the longest video. It's about 30 minutes long, well worth your time. And then you can jump into individual trainings here for how to remove indicators. These videos are just a couple of minutes long. How to move MetaTrader around like you can in TradingView, Trading Assistant controls, how to do back testing in TradingView, how to draw vertical lines to mark out your hour, and so much more. And by the time you watch this video or see this video, there might be other trainings in this section. But everything here is well worth your time, and you find that, as I said a moment ago, from the main dashboard in the Start Learning section. Now, one more thing just to mention here. If you're looking for anything in particular, if you come down to the support name of FAQs, click on Get Support, and in this area you'll find a detailed FAQ section, and you can come through here. For example, if you're looking for an answer to a question about MetaTrader, have a look through these, and once you click through you'll find direct links to videos that give you answers to most of the questions that we get asked on a regular basis. So hopefully you found this useful, and back to your further training.
Thanks, Steve. Good job as always. Right, so we haven't missed nothing, of course. Just keeping an eye on it. But we're right in the middle of not going one way or t'other. 80% of the time we're in sideways motion, and this is on the minute time frame. See how easy it is to see on the, usually you have to go up to the 5 minute to see that, but we are, yeah, all this here is consolidation. We're right in the middle of between the zones. The news at 8:15 could drag it one way or the other, but it's only, I say only Spanish, but don't want to be defamatory, but there's lots of different cogs in the Euro financial world. Spain just being a cog, and Spain is not even the biggest cog. Biggest cog is Germany, then France, Italy, and I should imagine Spain is probably fourth. But their news might be enough to knock a couple of pips one way or the other. Well, I guess we'll see at 8:15. And then we got news at 8:45, 8:50, and 8:55 from these other little cogs. Whether they're going to be good enough to move quite a lot remains to be seen. And whether we're going to be in a trade by then remains to be seen. But in the meantime, just pure consolidation going. Can trade that. Incidentally, later on, possibly next week or maybe even the week after, I'm going to be doing an advanced training just for our members. Details will be over the next few days or even the weekend, where you can find extra confirmations for your trades. It's a bit advanced. So I don't really, the whole idea of the Academy 55 was to keep it really, really simple in its, red for sell, green for a buy, for the alert and the parabolic SAR and all that stuff. But extra confirmations are always a good thing. But if you don't wish to be on it, it's not a big deal. But it will help you when trading the EUR USD specifically. And give you that an extra confirmation of where price is going. See these indicators here, they ease your mindset just as well as because all indicators are lagging. But the idea behind this is because we're on the minute, they can't lag that much. But they ease your, especially a new person's mindset. Should I get into a trade? Should I not get into a trade? Well, you know that because if it's not red for a sell, so for example, if it was like here, for example, you've got your sell alert here, you've got your red volume, but the trend line's still green. You're not even beyond under the wave, so you wouldn't get in just because it said to sell there. You've got to wait for all the other conditions. So as far as the Akami 55 strategy is concerned, it will ease your mindset to tell you when to get into a trade and when to get out of a trade. But the more you can learn about price action, why price goes where it is, in other words, looking at the balance, knowing that that needs to be filled at some stage, support and resistance lines, how price respects support and resistance lines, unless there is a time of the day when there's enough volume to sweep past them and they have an agenda, price has an agenda to get somewhere because the dollar is either strong or weak or whatever. If the more you know about price action itself, the combined with your knowledge of the indicators will actually give you more confidence. But these things take time, and also we have the zones to go by, which are very, very powerful, as I showed you earlier on. When price gets into a zone, which is an order block, you can we have like a 75% win rate from price getting into the zones, turning around, looking for the next. Down here would be looking for the next buy. Here we're looking for the next sell. That sort of stuff. So that is really good in itself. But if you're interested in learning more about price action, it's a good thing. This is why I've got into it, because it's really, really, really interesting why psychologically price does a certain thing. Like for example, on this candle here, price wanted to buy, but the sellers were in charge, pushing the price down further, and sure enough, we did get a bit of a sell-off on that candle there, psychologically, at that time. And these candles psychologically work the same on the minute time frame as any other time frame. It's just on the higher time frames, there's a lot more people wanting to sell here. If this was a 5-minute candle, it's not, it's a 1-minute candle, but if it was a 5-minute candle, there'd be a lot more people, a lot more sellers pushing the price down than if it was a minute candle. Sounds obvious to say, but just reminding you. Incidentally, that news, the Spanish news, hasn't been either disseminated yet or hasn't really done anything at all. It's all been factored into price action beforehand, probably, which 8 times out of 10, lots of red flag news is already factored in. They know what sort of news is coming and what to do about it at the time. So the only ones you see big movement on is when they want to disguise where they want to put price, or you've got some shock news about inflation going down especially in the US by 0.25%, 0.5%. That'll make a big tremor in price action. And non-farm payroll, which is on this Friday actually, that tends to move 30 or 40 pips most times, sometimes even more. But most of the like I say, eight times out of 10, the red flag news you see, especially on the non-US, is not such a big deal. It's already factored in. And when you get bad news for the red flag news on the US or the on the US, it's usually affects all the other. If it's really dramatic news and moves a few hundred pips one way or the other, which I've seen it do, it will affect all the other currencies, because the US accounts for 55% of the pie of all the 8 major currencies. So therefore, it will affect all the others. But right now we are sort of not doing much at all. I'll show you how I drew those lines. Let's do away with that and turn this to a line chart, put it on the hourly. Now this line we're coming up to now, as you can see, it was resistance there, support here, support there, kind of same as that there. That's why that line is there. Same as this line here. 1, kind of 2, 3 points. That's why those lines are there. That's why they're drawn up. And even on the 4 hourly. You can these are previous lines. I usually like to draw more recent lines, the better. I keep forgetting to cancel those. Right, we're at that line, hourly line right now, so that'll be interesting. Let's go. Will it bounce or break off that line? Let's go back to the minute time frame. So we're at that line now. So if there was a seller there and we got into the trade there, I'd be looking, see whether it broke that line, which it did, before getting into a sell. Looking at that as the next level of maybe interest to either put my stop loss to my entry, but we're not in a trade, obviously, because there's no sell alert. But so you could respect that even now and bounce off it and go back up. Euro flat ahead of vote that could topple French government. Market talk. Wow. So that's pretty big news for the euro. So that's why nothing much is happening now, because it takes £10 million to invest to move 1 pip. And why would you do that if you don't know what, the euro is going to be, the French government may change. So you'd want to wait till till things are more clear of what's going to be happening in the future, I guess, before you go investing your millions of dollars in euros or whatever. Makes sense, really. So that's why we're seeing all this. So I'll throw the chat open, I think, 'cause I don't think much is going on at the minute. We're respecting that line. If anybody's got anything they'd like to ask or anything like that, just about what we've talked about this morning, please go ahead and do so, and I'll answer if I can. Other than that, the dollar is gaining strength and the euro is not. The euro's kind of respecting that support and resistance line that I showed you earlier on. That's why it's always prudent. Like I said before, if there was a sell alert there, for example, and we was brewing up, let's just do a scenario. You'd want to be going 2.1 pips away. That would be your sell option. But there, I'd be seriously looking price and possibly wanting to get in down here, being cautious. Stop loss would be on the trend line. So therefore, my take profit would be, well, that's good, almost on that line there. So that's the way, if there was a sell alert there, which there isn't, obviously, so we're not in any trade or nothing, just a scenario, the importance of these support and resistance lines. And that's all done by the fact that, let's just do away with that again. Do away with this, put it on the hourly. Put it on the line chart. And like I said before, 1, 2, 3, 4 points there. So that's got to be 4 points on the line chart. So therefore, on the hourly, no less than an hourly. If you notice, I don't do any less than an hourly. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you get 2 or more, especially if they're recent, then I would Like, for example, I just noticed this area down here is important also, because you've got one point there, look, kind of a point there, and also going the other way, you've got a point there. So that area there, oh look, that's more or less on the that area there is, I want to be precise about things. The 3 zeros, that area there is the key zone area. And put it back on the hourly. If you put it on the minute. So it's gone past the key zone area now. So that would be an area of interest. If we got to there, then I'll be looking to put my stop loss to my entry. But so it's reacting off that line now, look. The don't worry, we're not in any trade. Didn't get an alert or nothing. Just a scenario of things to look out for and why we look out for them. Sending a tracer down now to go even deeper. So it's gone past the key zone area, but it did react off it, and it could have come back, and I would have had my stop loss there, protecting my equity as much as possible. That is the key feature. Protect your equity. And now we've got another key area down here. And that's what I'd be, that's how I'd, if we had a seller there, that's how I would have handled that trade. With my own discretion, my own caution. Everybody's discretion is different. Like we just discussed yesterday. Some people will just leave it like that and walk away and accept a 1% loss if indeed that would happen. Some people like myself want to at least put my stop loss to my entry, and sometimes as you any longer term viewers here would recognize that sometimes I do get bitten because price will come up here, just nick my stop loss, take me out, and yet still, and then turn around and go back down here at 2%. But that's okay. I'll protect my equity and I'll live to fight on. David's iPhone. Morning. What's the blue line for where prices stand? I've already answered that, David. Yeah, you said thanks. So as I've been yapping, I've explained it, hopefully. So thanks, David's iPhone. So, yeah, we'll do away with that. Don't want to confuse anybody. We're not in a trade. And now in another 10 minutes, we have some news. Again, like the Spanish news didn't come to much. Probably was already factored in. But we've got some Italian news at 2:45. Let's see if that has an effect. today it seems to be, at this time of the day, seems to be that still on that big sell from 5 to 6 this morning. David's iPhone. Before this current push down, before the current push down, my buy alert did appear twice, but then disappeared. Should we wait until the next candle and then it will stay fixed? Again, that is a discretionary. It was about 8:05. Oh, you got another alert here, did you? Well, this is 8:05. All depends what feed you were on, I guess. It's just yeah, on FXCM. I don't think I never alluded. I didn't see any myself, but and then it went away. All right, interesting. So it's not there now, David. So it just went away and didn't come back again at all. It's unusual. But so presumably if it flickered, cellular flickered there and it stayed the cellular, it should have stayed, to be fair. So I don't understand why it went away again. Possibly would have come back here. Oh, right, not sell, they're all greens. At 8:05. Right, let's just have a look at this then. For a start, you should be 2.2 pips away. And that's where your stop loss would be. Two pips. Well, you notice that price is on a sell there. So if it came in there, presumably it did. You pick up on the fact that this was a sell, and there was a buy zone at 105, 134. Let's get the horizontal ray. 105, 134. There. Ah, right. Okay. But you know, if you use your a little bit of experience, if you have, you would notice that you got red, red, and then yeah, I mean, yeah, that would have taken you out straight away. Look, so really, it's yeah. I can understand some people may have got in, but I mean, we got all this cell action here. Wouldn't want to get in until it's more established, and you couldn't get until 806 anyway because the trend line didn't go green until then. Right. Okay. So yeah, it's sorry you got taken out. But yeah, you little bit of hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But yeah, you would have seen these candles here, and you would have been anticipating perhaps quite a big buy, but then even before the trend line turned green, you see a bit of a stall there, indecision candle, indecision candle. So maybe it'd be prudent to wait a little bit more. And then it never did get much higher than that because you get another red candle. And then when you get to here, look, the parallel flips anyway. Yeah, we never saw a buy signal. As Steve said, we didn't see a buy signal. So apparently, David said he saw one flicker a little bit. I we never saw nothing ourselves. Anyway, thanks for the question, but it's Steve's saying you have to be cautious, of course. Yeah, we're always being cautious. Right, in 2 minutes we've got this news. Again, see how it's congregating around this support and resistance line, sort of congregated around there. But we're well away from any zones. We're right around the key zone area. 1.0 psychological area, like I said before, where investors and bankers alike like to put trades in, take trades out, especially the longer term ones. So that's why you see a lot of buying and selling power can happen along these lines. Oh, I had a dip. Ian Orford says I had a video on at the time. So this news created 7 or 8 pips, still going. It's quite significant. One never knows. So 0.01 to 6 pips on a minute time frame. That's that could give you a 2% win now if you was in a trade. So these, although they're not big market moves, they need to be respected if you were in conjunction with you being in a trade. But now we're coming down into the buy zone, which is good for us. So maybe we might get a bit of a buy, but I'm mindful of the fact we got other news happening in 4 minutes time, then other news happening in 5 minutes after that. Again, following price action, what I like to do is put fibs on the highest point of that anomaly. All I'm after is really 50%, but we haven't finished yet. Oh, might go even lower. Yes. I'm still going lower. Because what happens sometimes is price goes to climbs back up to at least 50% of it before carrying on down, if it's going to carry on down, which is that line there, incidentally. So I'll do away with that. So that's the 50% of that anomaly there, funnily enough. So if it creates a new low now, I'll have to recalculate, but that's the 50%. So price will at least want to come back to here, usually, especially on the bigger moves. Creating lower lows now. But here is the buy zone. We're just getting into the buy zone now. So we'd be looking for the next buy. Officially now, because we're in the buy zone. And if I find 50% of that, because we've got a new low created, which is there. There we go. It's touching that 50% line now. Could go beyond that, of course. I'll take that out now. So this is the scenario we want to see for a buy. Low position. We will be interested until it gets up to here, at least. This area here. Something like that. my MT4 on, my lines on, make sure I'm 2.2 pips away. Cheers. There. Keep it floating. Bear in mind, we've got another bit of news in 4 minutes' time. Okay, David, all the best. As you see, on this buy now, we've got quite a way to go. But the news, this remind myself, it's German news in 2 minutes' time. Might help the buy on its way, or it might even go for a deeper sell. Obviously, if it's bad news for the euro, we will see. Right, we've got news in 1 minute's time. And the figures, I can see that there was higher figures previously, so one could think that it's not so good news then. But we will see. Right, is the news. German news. Like I said, a lot of it is already factored in. More sideways action. I think this the fact that the French are in turmoil a bit is probably making the reason why we're seeing all this sideways action, really, because we're just not sure about the French government, what's going to happen. So it seems obvious why there's a lot of caution there. But as you can see, that didn't do much at all, really, that news. I've got another 3 minutes to see if there's going to be a trade. Waiting for a buy alert because we're in the buy zone. More sideways action. If anything, still carrying on down, I guess. So I'll be looking at the charts later on this afternoon and see if there's anything take my eye trading wise as per price going into the zones. Again, real quick, what you could do, say for example, if you was waiting for price to go into a zone, put it on the 5 minute, put your horizontal line there. What you do is you right click, add alert, and then you could say sell zone, create, and then you'll be alerted if price gets into this sell zone area, and consequently on the buy zone, you add alert on the buy zone, same thing, sort of thing, and then when you hear that alert or see that alert, you can then come and realize that, put it back on the 1 minute time frame. You'll be after the next buy alert. See you soon. Cheers for now. Okay, so I'm just about to get into a buy trade on the EUR USD. Trend line has gone green now. So the time I bought that one. 3.8 stop loss. This came about because there, 3.8 takes it down to there. Yeah, that's about right. There we go. Drags my 2% up to there. And this came about because of price being in the buy zone down here. Nice big strong buy zone. Waiting for the next buy alert. Get the buy alert there. Waiting for price to sort of get more towards a buy. So here we are. Okay, so now at this juncture, I will be putting my stop loss to my entry in lieu of the fact we come so far. And I'll be looking to close my trade. There we go. Indeed, another 2% win. So thanks very much and cheers for now. Bye.